M's. And here we go.
Welcome, guys, to episode 8, I think.
Episode 8 of some dang good advice.
Dang good advice.
Dang good advice. How you feeling today, Andy?
Well, I just finished work
Yeah.
and not used to like daylight saving being off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything turns dark so early.
So quick. Now you finish up in the office and it's dark straight away when you get home.
Yeah, life kind of sucks right now. Because when you come home, it's like dark and gloomy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good for sleeping, though. It's hard to get up in the mornings, that's for sure.
You're right. I was wondering like how were we able to do it like back in like the COVID days where we
That's right.
wake up 5 a.m.
5
in the
o'clock,
morning.
train at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We
that's
didn't have
crazy.
anything else on in our days, let's be honest, right? So
Oh,
we'd
yeah,
wake
true.
up, like, that was the highlight of the day, getting out of the house, then we'd be back at home and working.
You are right. I guess that's right, man. Now I think everyone is back to normal lifestyle and stuff. So
It's different.
yeah.
Just got to find that motivation. So, Andy, we're talking about stress today.
Yeah.
Handling stress.
Handling stress.
How do you handle stress? I think we've all been in a stressful situation.
Oh, totally,
What?
man.
Tell me, what has been one of your most stressful situations you've ever been in?
Oh, well, I just had like a major stress breakdown like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was I was going through something very emotional and
Yes.
very dramatic in my life, which I wouldn't want to touch on right now, probably in the future. But long story short, I got this like condition called IBS.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, the IBS. It's what happens to Alexi every time he has milk.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Well, okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, that happens, man. Yeah.
So you had IBS. This stress caused IBS.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So sorry, if you're listening to the ruffling sound, it's probably my puffer jacket. It's cold weather and I'm very stingy and frugal about like turning on the heater. So I just prepare like gin and tonic for me and Gills. So we're sipping some gin while we're doing our podcast and wearing thick warm clothes.
Uh,
Oh well. Yeah. Talking about IBS, right? It was pretty bad. It was pretty full on. I thought that I had food poisoning
mm.
the day before because I ran to the toilet like I think like 5 times that day. So I have
Sheesh.
like the worst stomach ache ever. And I was like, oh, maybe I ate something wrong.
Mm.
But then I asked Eddie and I asked like Katrina because we went and eat together. And like my friend John and Eunice came over
Mm.
the other night and make dinner for them. So all of them ate the same food I ate. So none of them have any issue. And especially John, like because he has a very sensitive stomach.
Mm.
And it was fine. Like he didn't text me and complain that hey, your chicken rice is bad, man. Like caused me to have diarrhea or whatever. So I guess that's fine. And yeah, it wasn't until like day 2 that I realized that oh my goodness, like it's probably my stress that caused this kind of thing because whatever I eat, I poop.
Wow. Very graphic, but it's a real thing. Real thing.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Have
it's
you
a
had
real
this
thing, man.
happen to you before where you've been so stressed that it's cooked your guts?
No, to be honest, I think the only time that I know of like IBS, and I didn't know that it was like really a term here until I came over here and someone just told me, I think Kat told me that, oh, you got IBS. It's like it's very normal here. It's like, what do you mean very normal? Like back in Malaysia, if we're stressed, we need to suck it up and work on and move on and live on. If you can't handle the stress, you're not fit to survive in Malaysia. So so yeah, I've become weak and soft.
It's got nothing to do with the place that you're living in,
Yeah. I mean
but it's something that's developed. So this was a high stress environment.
Oh yeah.
It was an emotional time.
Mm.
And was it just that situation, like, or was it a pile up of things, or was it just one scenario that stressed you out?
I think generally, everyone has stress, regardless what like when you work, when you study, even when you're living under a household with different people because of different opinions, different lifestyle. You tend to have like at least a bit of amount of stress.
Mm.
So I guess this is pretty much like how to say a pile up of all the stress that happened,
Mm.
and it kind of just blew off into like oh my body can't handle the strain anymore, and I was pretty like upset and frustrated on that situation. I guess those emotions kind of add up to the stress level. You're being stressed and you're always like being how to say very anxious and very like edgy at time, and it just kind of like wrecks the body.
So how long did this episode last for?
Oh, for a whole week,
One whole week,
yeah, one whole week.
your guts being cooked.
Yeah.
So then how did you start to recover from this? Would you say the stress went away? Did it happen in a moment, or was it a gradual thing where you're just like, "Oh, okay, I'm better now?"
I think it's more of a gradual thing. So I keep telling myself that I need to relax. I need to relax. The more I
Mm,
think of it, the worse it becomes. So I think like in the middle, it become worse. So whatever I ate and drink, my stomach was like churning nonstop, and it hurts me so bad that I lose appetite. So I kind of assume that, you know what, telling myself to relax isn't like the solution because I was still working. So I had like those gastro stop pills just because like I try to stop like my bowel movements and all that because I need to push on to work. And until one point, told myself that I need a break. So I called up, told my boss that I need a day off, and I just literally did nothing that day. Slept, play some games, eat, sleep again,
mm,
and it gradually become better. But yeah, it was a gradually, and I guess like the emotions was, I would say, less tense by
mm.
the 6th or 7th day
Yeah,
of the
right.
day.
So at the height of the
Yeah,
emotions, that's when you found it. But then when the emotions settled,
yeah.
that's when you're feeling a little bit better.
Oh yeah,
So this
totally.
was one of those scenarios how stress impacted your body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we all go through stress. Hey, we all go through some stressful times. So what do you think helped you get through that stressful time?
I guess I mean, I'm not an expert in stress handling, pretty much. I mean, if you know me like personally, you know that I'm always like, "What's this happening, man? Why is this happening?" I'm not the chillest guy ever in the group. Probably like the most dramatic guy ever.
So then what helped you gather your
Mm,
thoughts and then get out of this stress?
I guess talking like I called you on the first day,
Yeah.
part of like that incident and all that,
Yeah.
and it was pretty like full on. But I was like so emotional, I couldn't
Yes.
think straight. But yeah, I think along the way, like talking to different people, and then not necessarily getting advice from them, but it's just like just sharing like your heartfelt, like how you felt that moment, and but being able to someone being able to be there to acknowledge and listen that you've gone through that kind of helps.
Yeah.
That's why I guess like we have therapists and
Yeah.
like people that you go in and you pay money and they
Yeah.
listen to you talk. So
There's something special about just being able to verbalize your
oh
emotions.
yeah,
I think it's needed for everyone.
mm,
Because like you said, sometimes it's not about correcting, it's just about getting it out.
yeah,
I find when I'm able to talk through things, it helps me arrange my thought process and it starts putting things into a better perspective of what I'm actually thinking. So as I'm thinking about it, as I'm talking through these emotions, sometimes I'm realizing, oh, it's not actually as big as I thought, but the fact of just getting it out is helping me order my thoughts and giving me, I guess, comfort in that. So what you found?
yeah, totally, man. I feel like it's I would say that it's like you have like bunch of like steamy hot water inside a thermos because it's well sealed. Um, okay, a better way, it's like a can of like soda. So when you shake it, it's gonna explode because of all the gas and all that. So you need to release it because if
Yes.
not, when it explodes, the whole can will burst,
Yes.
and you know what? It literally obliterates like the whole can.
Yes.
But if you pop the can of soda open, yeah, there might be things like spilling out and it will be messy and all that. But at least the can is intact.
Mm,
So I put it as like my body is the can.
yeah.
It's because that I managed to share my thoughts and all that. It's like gas like
So
split out
you're
from
able to get it out.
yeah, yeah. But because I wasn't able to get it out at the first like few days, that's why I got like this massive diarrhea attack that yeah. It was bad.
It's graphic. It's
It's
graphic.
graphic, but it's real, man. Like if
It's real talk right now.
yeah, yeah.
So
Eddie had this like condition like 1 week before our wedding.
wow, the IBS.
Yeah, so whatever she ate, she just like poop out.
So graphic. It's real. It's real right now.
Yeah,
How do you think? And we just talked about how it helped you just verbalize.
yeah.
And I didn't have to say, oh, just do this and do that. How do you reckon you would have responded, or how do you reckon it would have affected your emotional state if I just started just trying to be a fix it, like, those conversations, you just don't need to fix it. You just need to listen out.
I guess you go two ways.
Mm,
So first, if you agree with me, but yeah, you'll be like, oh, let's do this. Let's fix this.
mm,
Let's go all the way, and we get excited. Probably I'll become better, but we will kind of escalate the situation into like a whole new level.
mm,
Or you disagree with me, and I feel more defeated. And I'm like, the crap, man. Like, Gills doesn't understand me, man. And why am I telling him this? And he's trying to correct me and all that.
mm,
Like, what? By not listening to me and
mm,
stuff. And that will probably cause more stress to me. Because,
yep,
like, if one of my good mates tell me that, oh, you're wrong,
mm,
when I'm like at the most emotional moment and stuff,
mm,
and not just like trying to listen out, I probably feel that yeah, no one is like really
mm,
listening
mm.
rather than just like trying to give me a solution and just
Totally. I
yeah,
think there's a perfect timing for things because you want your good mates to be able to tell you how it is. You want your good mates to be like, "Dude, you're just overreacting." But there needs to be a certain time to be able to do that.
yeah,
So as a friend, you need to be able to understand, okay, this is an emotionally charged state right now. If I were to just be black and white, it could it could do the opposite of what I'm trying to do.
yeah,
Because I think sometimes people
mm,
just need to get it out
mm,
first.
yeah, totally,
They just need to be felt heard, and then you expect your mates to be completely real with you.
yeah,
So then the right timing, and I guess that comes down to your ability to understand the situation and the emotional situation that's going on. It's
yeah,
kind of like emotional intelligence, what they say, right?
yeah, yeah,
So understanding the emotions that's going on right now, and understanding that, hey, maybe just the cold hard truth is essential, yes, but it's how you deliver it. If you deliver it now, it's just gonna fume. But
oh,
if
I
you
totally agree, man. It's definitely a skill. Like
Yeah,
you can't just try to be there like in a full package. Like you have trouble, I'll be there like from the start to finish, like in the full scale in such a short time. It has to be a progress. It's like first you let the person calm down, and then later on you check on the
mm,
person, and then later on you give your thoughts about it.
totally.
Yeah,
I
but it
think even just the way you deliver truth. I think some people, the truth is the truth, right? Yes, we definitely need it, but you can present it in a way that's going to offend someone, or you can present it in a way that's like, wow, I actually understand what you're trying to say. So I think that's a skill in itself for anyone that's interacting with someone. I think people need to know that there's an art form, or there's a specific way to be able to present information or communicate something, because you can say something and it can be interpreted completely wrong on how you're trying to deliver it.
yeah.
How many times have we heard of people saying, "Oh, my heart was to help him, but it just didn't work out. They felt like that was attacked."
Yeah. So I guess the first advice that we can give on to helping someone if the person is stressful
Yes.
is to, I guess, put yourself into the person's shoes
Yeah.
and just let them process the emotions first.
Totally. I guess coming from the point of helping someone out who's stressed, like you said, put yourself in their shoes and just hear them out. And then if you're the person that is being stressed or that is stressed, have somewhere where you can vent, or where you can release it. You talked about that gas kind of scenario where it just needs to be released. Do you think some people might be better off not communicating through, or venting in a different way?
I guess at the end of the day, it's really about self awareness. Like, you gotta know where your mental state is.
Mm,
I was able to identify quite early. It's because I went through like a series of depression probably when I was younger,
yeah.
and probably going through counseling, that I was able to know that okay, I'm not at a good place right now. So when I am reacting towards the situation, what can I do next? And I
Yes.
believe that a lot of people out there, um, that this kind of stress might be the first time you're experiencing it. So you might not be able to think clearly. And it's not your fault because I wasn't able to think clearly when I first like when I went through like a very serious stress when I was younger and all that. So it ended up me going into like doing drugs
Oh,
and
wow.
like doing all the wrong things in life, man. So yeah, full disclosure, yeah, I'm not like the best person to look up to if you look at my past. But yeah,
How times have changed though. Times have
that times have
changed.
changed. Yeah, but I guess like at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, I guess it's the same formula. Of course, like some people would want to go more physical in venting, and
Yeah.
probably they would go to like a battering like cage, and then they just like whack the baseball
Yeah,
as
yeah.
much as can, or they
Go
will
get a
go to a
punching
driving
bag or something.
range and just swing the golf
Mm,
club as much as can.
mm,
So it really depends on how do you vent out those emotions, but
mm.
eventually I guess like you still need to have an outlet to release it.
Totally.
And when I say outlet, it's not asking you to go and punch some people, it's not
Punch a hole
asking
in the
you to go
wall.
and
Yeah.
destroy your house property or any belongings of any
Yeah,
other
totally.
people. Those are wrong, like those are
Mm.
definitely not good. Just think of it like if you are so angry and you slam the door and the door is broken, you feel more stressed because you need to use money to pay and repair the door, man.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
Just keeps getting worse and worse.
Well, that's on you personally,
Mm,
man.
mm.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess it's important for us to know like what kind of ways that we can channel out. But
Yeah.
I would say most of the time talking about it, it's very helpful. I know that some people out there might think like, oh, I'm a guy, I
Mm.
don't need to talk about my problems, or like my mate wouldn't even understand that.
Yeah.
But I guess at this point, if that's the case, right, you gotta look for the right person to open up to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
you can't walk into someone and like imagine if I tell Gills about like what's going on and that Gills would be like, ah, chill, man, it's fine, it's all right, nothing matters and all that. I guess it'll be worse. So
Mm.
I
'Cause I
guess
guess you
it's
wouldn't feel heard.
yeah. So
You would
this
feel like, "Oh, you're not listening, you don't even care."
yeah. So the second advice following up would be finding the right person
Mm.
to help you process that stress.
Yes,
Yes.
totally. And I
Yeah.
guess that comes down to who's in your corner. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, that's
Who's
right.
in your corner? Who is the closest people that you have around you? Because that's essential in life. I think you surround yourself with the right people. It's going to help you through the tough times. It's going to be, it's going to help you. They're going to help you through the good times as well.
Yeah.
I think you need the right people in your corner all the time.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like any other advice that you can give? I already gave two, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Somehow I'm on a roll today, bro.
Yeah, yeah, you are on a roll. I would say for high stress situations, what you got to do is you need to think past it, right? You have to think that this is only for a period of time. It's not the end of the world. What's the worst case scenario that's going to happen out of this? It's almost like putting it into perspective. So, like you said, it was 6 days until things started settling down. So, for me, when I'm in high stress situations, I kind of look past what's going on, and I would almost just have a moment where I pause and take a breath in and be like, okay, let's think through this. So for me, I guess when I'm in a high pressure situation, I won't verbalize it straight away. So when I'm in high stress situations, I will almost like separate myself for a little bit. And then I'll start processing my thoughts. And then when I start processing my thoughts, that's when I'll start to verbalize what's going on. And then when I start to communicate, that's when I start thinking past it. So I think there has to be that time of just almost taking that breath in and relaxing. Um, I think that's for the situations that I face. I think as well, for me, when I'm in higher stress situations, and I can think of multiple stress situations, and I guess there's different, completely different levels to it. For me, when I think of a high stress situation, when my old man was going through, when he just had a stroke, and we had to go visit him at Hampstead Rehab Center, and it was one of those days where everything just went wrong. When it rains, it pours. It felt like one thing went wrong, crap, that sucks. Another thing wrong. Another thing went wrong. And the situation revolved around my dad's cars. I don't know if I shared about this like in one
Yeah.
of the
Yeah. We
podcasts.
did cover it on I think episode 5. When it
Yeah.
rains, it pours.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah,
That,
if you
that was
guys miss
it.
it out, just head back to that
Yeah.
yeah, full context available
Totally.
there. Yeah.
That was a high stress situation.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
And, to tell you the truth, I reckon when I was younger, I was one of those people that just reacted straight away. So I was like, I'd say when I was like in my teenage years, early 20 years, I was the guy that literally used to punch holes in the walls. Yeah. If you go to my mum's place, you got this cabinet that's on the side. I'll punch the hole straight through that. I punched the hole straight through my door. So just like you got to
Oh my
pass,
god.
I got to pass as well, right? I like to think now it's a lot different now. I handle my stress a lot different. But I'll say this as well. Going through high stress situations has made my capacity a lot bigger to be able to deal with other
Oh,
situations.
totally, man. I think like this experience that we go through helps us to become stronger.
Totally.
So I guess at this point, like being like our early 30s and stuff, we kind
Yes.
of realize that um I'm not sure whether you agree or not, but I would say that when stress comes in nowadays, yes, it's frustrating,
Yep.
but we would say that it's just something that
Totally.
we can just go through and become better and
And I'm
better.
like,
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
all right, let's think about what could if it goes wrong. Like, I'll still have a roof on top of my head. Still got friends around me. And I think we even touched about this before in episode 5. It's counting your blessings, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's realizing that there's more things to be grateful for than to be sorry for. So um yeah, just doing that, putting things in perspective definitely hurts. But I definitely think that now that I've gone through a lot of hardship and a lot of stressful situations, now it's almost my capacity and ability to deal with some of the stuff that I might have thought was so stressful when I was younger is just like, oh yeah, no, that's all right. Like just let's just work through it, you know? Um, so I think that's the beauty of being able to push through stressful situations. It's able to expand your ability and it's almost like strengthening yourself. So when I was younger, I might have faced something and I'd be like, oh, it's the end of the world. But nowadays I'm just like, it's so simple. Why don't you push through, Gills?
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna say this, like I'm gonna like summarize it. Uh Not summarizing it. I don't know what I'm thinking, man. Probably it's the gin, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, right? We can definitely say that it's not the end of the world, even you have stress.
Yes,
Because stress is not the ending. Stress
totally.
is the process. I would say this analogy that I've like read somewhere, like you know how diamonds are produced, like they go through like immense amount of pressure
Yep.
as carbons and those compression and all that. At the end of the day, it creates something such a it's so beautiful, such
Pressure makes
brilliance, and
diamonds.
yeah,
Pressure makes diamonds.
pressure makes diamonds, man. So
Yes, totally.
yeah, it's not the
It's
end of the
hard to
day.
think that though in that moment. That's very hard to
Oh
do
yeah,
because
I'll
when
be
you're in the
yeah.
moment, you're just like, "This sucks. It's the end of the world." So it's a very hard thing to do. When, as I say, you need to separate yourself, and I almost say you have to take emotion out of it. Take the emotion out of it is what I almost say, and that's a very hard thing to do. I think in the moment because you're just like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh," but what's essential is definitely having those people to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think some people process it differently though. So I guess everyone's timing is a bit different. Being able to speak about what's going on in your mind emotionally is essential. Knowing the right people around you. But like for me, I sometimes have to be like, okay, I'm going to take a step back. Okay, I don't want to talk about it because sometimes if someone's like, dude, what's going on? Dude, what's going on? Doing what's going on? I'd be like, I don't want to talk right now because I'm just processing my thoughts. Or even when I'm having a conversation that's like pretty full on, and they'd be like, "What are you thinking?" I'm uh, like I'm just collecting my thoughts because I want to be able to act out of wisdom and act out of knowledge rather than act out of emotional state.
Yeah.
Because I know what happens when you act out of emotional state. When I was younger, I used to act out of emotional state. I'd put a hole through my wall. I remember this one time I was so mad, and I used to have this Volkswagen, what's it called convertible, and I
Yeah.
got so mad that I hit the top, and it's like this vinyl thing, and
Oh my
I
goodness.
broke the top, and
Dude,
then as
you're
soon as I did,
violent,
yeah,
bro.
I was back in the day, right?
Oh
But I
my goodness.
wasn't violent to anyone. I just because that was my way of venting, and I realize now that wasn't healthy
Yeah.
because I didn't know how to process my emotions. Now, like nowadays, if I'm in those high pressure situations, I have the ability now to be like, have that like, okay, let's relax. Okay, oh, okay, what's going on? Let's relax and okay, let's think about it and not act like lashing out like that.
Yeah, so you kind of see, right? One, when he's stressed, he punches things and create holes. Another
Used to
one, yeah, he used to like take substance and stuff.
take substance when it means
Nah, it's not substance, okay. Like I
yeah.
just smoke weed, okay. It's not drugs, okay. Like I don't
That's
do
right.
yeah, yeah.
So
But it's still bad. Like It's not
So there's
recommendable.
there's
Yeah.
healthy ways to be able to vent,
Definitely there's healthy ways for you to overcome it.
and I
So
think everyone needs to find the healthy ways.
yeah.
If it's detrimental to yourself, it's not it's not right. And if it's violent, I don't think it's right as well.
Yeah.
I think there's other ways to be able to vent.
So what would be like the fine guidelines that you can summarize to give up? If that's
Mm.
the case.
Find guidelines for venting.
Yeah, maybe like step one, step two, step just a
Okay,
very
all right.
general one.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. A general thing. Okay, when you're in a high stressful situation, number one, pause. Take a big breath in. Take 3 breaths in, and process what's going on around you, and start to think through your problems. And when you start to think through your problems, and once you start to put things into perspective, so take a big breath in, start processing through the problems, start understanding and putting things into perspective that, you know what, it's not as bad as you think. There's more things to be grateful for. Then once you get to the place of I'm not going to lash out, then have the have the comfortability to be able to talk to the right person. So I think even before step 1, you need to take inventory of the people that's around you and understand who are the people that I can have in my corner that I can just chat to and be completely real with you. Because if you don't have those kind of people and you're listening now and you're just like, I don't have those people, you need to have those people. Everyone needs to have those people. And so do that first. And then once you're able to process those thoughts, verbalize and talk through that with someone, and then once you have that, that's going to help order your thoughts. Just getting it out and talking it through with the right people is going to as well help put things in perspective as you go. And then even when you're starting to verbalize things, what will happen is you start to think of creative solutions, or you number one, you put things in perspective, but you start to be like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought, or you know what, you just feel good just by talking about it. And then from there, you just step it out one step at a time. I think sometimes people just be like, I need to be there straight away. You might not be there. You might be still right in the middle of it. Take it one day at a time. Take it one step at a time. And eventually you'll get there. Like, took you 6 days to be like, okay, now I'm good.
60 is good. I know of like some people that takes like way longer.
Totally, totally.
So I would say it's a improve.
Yeah.
It's an improvement from my end. Although like it's the first time getting IBS, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally, totally. So
Yeah.
stress impacts people's bodies in different ways.
Yeah.
Even as an athlete, they say controlling your stress is vital because it impacts your performance and your ability to perform.
I guess when I was young, pimple outbreaks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
it's bad. Like I have like a lot of like back acne and stuff.
Yes.
Big ones. Like yeah,
Big zits.
just don't go off like for weeks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would trade that for like IBS anytime, man. Yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I hope that's some dang good advice.
yeah. We
Where's the
hope.
button here? Oh, no, that's
I
not it.
dude, come on, man.
Here it is.
I
Yes.
need to
There it
start
is.
labeling like the
The
pad as
yellow
a
one.
dude.
Yellow
Stop
one.
like oh it annoys me so much when you just
What, this one here?
yeah and you
Oh, that
stop it
message?
halfway.
There we go. We'll just let it roll out. There we go. It annoys Andrew so much.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So yeah, we're thinking of like just trying new stuff in our segment and all that. So we just want to talk about something that is hot this week. Something
A
that's
hot
like
topic.
hot topic. Let's talk about Big Bird.
Big Bird. Oh,
Yeah.
Big Bird. So
Yeah.
what's the story, Andy? I just saw this just this morning. You told me about it. You were like, "Hey, did you see the news? Did you see what happened to Big Bird?" And I'm like, "I got no idea what happened to Big Bird. Tell me." And I saw it, but why don't you give a lowdown and a breakdown of what happened to Big Bird
Yeah, so basically, in Adelaide, there's this like Sesame Street circus that is going on here.
for the kids? It's
Yeah,
all for the
yeah,
kids.
it's all for the kids, man. Hey, I used to be a fan of Sesame Street
I
until I
used to
grew up.
love Sesame
Yeah,
Street.
yeah. Cookie Monster is like my favorite.
Cookie Monster. Elmo was mine.
Mm. Yeah. So the context was this like the Big Bird suit was stolen.
Big Bird suit was stolen.
Yeah. It's
And
like pretty full on. Like I thought like, oh, it's just a costume
and you
set
know what?
suit.
It's a legit costume.
Yeah, they say it's a
like
production set costume.
it's like the one from the series when we were kids. Like
Yeah.
it's a full on costume.
Yeah, so when I saw the price of the like the costume, it's like, oh my mind blew. Like
It's ridiculous how much the costume
it's
is worth.
170,000.
$170,000
Yeah,
for
you.
a Big Bird costume.
I could have
That's
spent that and buy like
ridiculous.
it costs exactly same, almost the same like a Ford F-150 Raptor.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I could have just like gotten the suit. Probably I should have stolen that, not like some other people that doesn't know the
Apparently,
cost.
it was made in New York and flown over for for the production.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty fun. And I'm just thinking like who would, I mean, maybe it's out of prank they stole like the costume and stuff.
They were saying that they stole, like, some sound gear as well, some sound gear, radios, and all that kinda stuff as well.
Yeah.
My
This-
question is how the heck did they steal it? The thing's like 2 meters high. How did they get away with stealing a Big Bird costume? It's bright yellow,
I guess
and
like
it's 2 meters high.
what if you just went into the costume and become Big Bird, you can just walk off the premise just like
Just walk out of Bonython
that.
Park in a Big Bird costume, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah,
Go
no one would
stop by
know, man.
Macca's in the corner.
Yeah, I would like some fries.
Just, yeah, Big Bird hungry.
But yeah, yeah, it's just like weird things that you see like on Adelaide, man.
So I saw a little clip from, I think it was Channel 7, one of the morning shows or something, and one they were explaining what happened, and the guy that was getting interviewed wasn't the best at being interviewed. All respect to you, but yeah, he just didn't give a lot of information. I guess the people that interviewed him was like, "We want some information." Then he's like, I don't know." But anyway, what ended up happening is Channel 7, what article that I saw, the the little segment that I saw, didn't show the fact that the Big Bird suit was returned.
Yeah.
It was returned with an apology letter as well.
Yeah, so here's the apology letter. I'm just gonna read it
Yeah,
out.
why don't you read it out?
We are sorry. We had no idea what we were doing or what our actions would cause. We were just having a rough time and were trying to cheer ourselves up. We had a great time with Mr. Bird.
Mr. Bird.
He's a great guy and no harm came to our friend. Sorry for such uh to be such a big burden. He did a pun there.
Big
BIR
Burden.
burden.
Ah, that's
It's
funny.
funny. Like sincerely, the Big Bird Bandits.
That's actually pretty funny. The Big Bird Bandits. It's a publicity stunt, mate.
Yeah.
Is it a publicity stunt? They say it wasn't.
I
I
guess
reckon that's a
yeah.
publicity stunt, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
So what do you guys think, man? If you think it's a publicity stunt, just leave a comment as well. If you don't think it is, also leave a comment on like I'll probably post a poll on like Instagram.
Publicity stunt or
Mhm.
not a publicity
Yeah.
stunt? Was it legit? How the heck did they steal a Big Bird costume? And how the heck did they return it? With no one seeing the security like around there. It's Bonython Park as well. It's a pretty open
Oh
place.
yeah, it's pretty open. Like
It's not like they
everyone can see what you do,
it's
and
not like they took it out of a bag. Like the whole thing, if you see a photo online, maybe you can post one later.
it's
But it's
two
like
hundred meters tall.
yeah, 2
It's
meters.
2 meters tall.
But it's leaning up against like a power box or something. It's
Yeah,
like,
you can't fold it up because
yeah.
it's a proper like
How about the wording in the thing? The Big Bird Bandits. Like it's like it's a thing out of the Home Alone, you know?
yeah.
Uh,
I have no idea, man. Maybe like they just try to be funny about it. But I guess like if there's like things stolen, they are probably thieves. And they never thought that it will scale up to this extent
do
where
you
everyone is just
think
hunting for Big Bird.
do you think someone would go through the effort and return it back? Or they just dump it? Like, why would you run the risk of going back to where it is when people know that there's a Big Bird like on the lookout? We got to find it. People's eyes would just be drawn to it.
Oh, now you pique my interest, man. Yeah.
It's like why would I, a thief who's apparently stolen some sound gear, radios, whatever it is, and have stolen $160,000 suit? I would just dump the thing. If I was, I'm like, why would I put myself in a high risk scenario?
I guess because it's hot stuff, so you can't like really fence it off.
And if they're the type of people that just like, oh, we just needed the cash, like I feel like
I say I
they
would just
wouldn't care
yeah.
about what other people are thinking.
I say I would just do a big bonfire and burn the Big Bird.
Oh, yeah.
If I were to be in their shoes.
I'm
Like,
just gonna say it's a publicity stunt.
okay.
I'll just say that, right? But do you think it's plausible that thieves or people that have stolen it have felt the regret and like, oh, we shouldn't have stole this.
Well,
Let's go return
I'm
it.
giving it a benefit of doubt, but I do like the sense of humor that they're giving. The
Yeah.
Big Bird
Hey,
Bandits.
yeah, that
And the
that is
pun
funny.
there was like, yeah, Big Bird and yeah, not bad, not bad. Good stuff. Yeah.
Bad publicity is still good publicity.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I guess the lesson is if you're stressed and going through a rough time,
Return Big Bird. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
yeah, that doesn't make sense. Don't go and steal Big Bird.
Don't steal Big Bird.
So it still sends us back to like our topic, like don't steal, don't do anything stupid, don't do anything irrational.
Yes.
Find the right channel to
Think
release
through
your
your
stress.
actions. Going back to the stress part, right?
Yeah.
When people act out of emotion, they do dumb things.
Yeah.
Like we always do. Everyone does. So don't act out of emotion, act out of wisdom and knowledge. And to be able to get to that place of acting out of wisdom and knowledge, you need to be able to control your emotions and think through that process there. Because if you act out of emotions, you end up doing what I was doing when I was 16 and 17 years old.
Yeah, don't
Punching
be
a hole through my
don't
wall.
be like Gills, man.
Don't be
Yeah.
like 17-year-old, 16-year-old gills.
Yeah, don't be like Gills even right now, man. You punch crap out of you, you make him
Oh my
stress.
gosh. No, I'll just punch the crap out of my belongings.
Now you just go and deadlift like 200 kilos and snap his own bones.
See, now I lift heavy things now in preparation of the stress.
Is
I'm
an
constantly
improvement.
venting.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Dinner is waiting for us outside.
Oh, dinner. You know what could be a good topic for us to talk about one day, Andy?
Yeah.
That Big Bird thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you done anything that you regret?
Oh yeah.
Do you have any Big Bird regrets in your life?
All right. So we're gonna segue this to our next
Oh,
episode.
Let's save it for episode
9.
9.
Yes.
Coming from Big Bird regrets. Let's call it that. Whatever you want to
the
call
Big
it.
Bird regrets. Okay, so
What
it's
are
a
the
build up
big
now.
regrets in your life? I was actually thinking about that on the way here, and I'm like, what would I talk about? Like, oh,
All right, good. So now we have topic for episode 9,
That's
and we
right.
just want to crunch it up. So yeah, thank you again for everything. Do the usual thing, like and subscribe, and also like send us emails or whatsoever if you have any
send us
topics
an
that we-
email.
Yeah.
Leave a comment on one of the photos. Is the Big Bird a big hoax?
Yeah,
Is it a publicity stunt? Yes or no?
yeah, we want to know. So yeah, that's it for today, and have a
Ciao.
good time. Yeah, ciao.
Love ya. Bye.